Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream. I'm your host, Little Redhead. We're also joined by Casper, who is in my spot, but slowly encroaching on him, and at some point he'll just get tired of the whole thing and get up. But until then, I will just lean into the frame here a little bit more. Yes, my cats are terribly spoiled. What can I say? So, here's what I thought we would do today. As you can see up on the big words there, we're still on the Bullroarer server, and I was surprised to find that. So, usually the way the Bullroarer testing server works is they only have it open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we don't usually get a chance to like take a look at things on the stream on Tuesdays. No big deal, whatever, we just work with that. But last week it was open the whole week, Monday through Friday. So that was very exciting. And I'm like, well, let's get in here and take a look at these houses, right? So we did a bit of that, just kind of generally checking out what the houses look like and seeing, what some furnishings that I bought from the furnisher look like, and kind of just playing around with putting them together. Now, what normally happens is at the end of the week, they close Bullroarer down and they wipe the whole server. And then the next time they bring it up, you have to start all over again. So I was quite surprised to find when I logged in today to find that all the stuff that I did last week was still in place. So the houses that I purchased last week are still in my inventory, which is kind of fun, unexpected. So I thought one thing we might do today is go around to all the different houses in the neighborhood, because we didn't necessarily do that, and just really get a good sense of like what does each house, what are the features of that house, what is the view from that house, what's the yard look like, and so forth. So the first thing I thought we might do is go back to the Isengard, get a whole bunch more mithril coin, and see if we can end up with one of every house aside from the Kinhouse. Yeah, Calariel says, I'm pretty surprised no wipes so far. Yeah, I was quite shocked. But I was like, hey, why am I standing in the neighborhood? And then I looked around and was like, this stuff is still here. What's going on? And then I looked at my housing. I was like, hey, I still have houses. So, yeah, so they apparently didn't wipe over the weekend, which is fine with me. That makes this easier for me. So let's go. Yeah, so I think let's go to the Isengard, which is the tavern. The Isengard Tavern. Let's pop over there first and take a look. Let's get some more mithril coins so that way we can buy up as many houses as we want. How many mithrils do I have? I track no currency. Is that true? That's possibly true. All right. So when you come into the Isengard, you have all these various NPCs that have been put in place that can give you various things that will help you on your journey. So I want to, and again, remember, this is a test server, so none of the stuff that we get here will persist. It all goes away. I want some ribbons. You got your ribbons. Participation ribbons, run. Oh, so that's if you want to, as if you had done the, like the Foresters event and stuff like that. I bet that's what that's for. Now, Clerk of Kinships, I'm guessing we can't do anything, but we'll see if it gives me a, yeah. So I went ahead and bought a kinship just in case, see what it does. Wait, I just went to the Clerk of, oh, I probably have to consume a thing. Let's consume a thing. Testing kinship. How about that? There we go. I am now the leader of testing kinship. Hoorah! Crafting events. Yeah, Telerian confirms this is the crafting events because you need those ribbons in order to get something, to get things. Not something I've spent a lot of time digging into, but this person I do know. So let's get a whole bunch of mithril coin from her. And how much do I currently have? Let's look at my wallet. It's over here somewhere. It is that one, isn't it? Yeah. Mithril. Okay, I currently have 4,555. And what does it cost to buy a house? How much could a banana cost? 10 mithril? Okay, I think they're running around 400, 500. So, I think there's, what, 8 of them? So, I want to make sure. So, Tellurian's thinking the houses run around 200, 300, 950 or so. Okay, so that might be enough. And, if it's not, we can always come back here and get some more. Okay, so let's pop downstairs back to our housing corner. Now, oh, actually, I was going to show you that we can do this another way, too. So let me pull up, let's see, Lalia's market. Let me go back to Lalia's market. Because there's a way to do stuff over there. So I'm going to check that out. Casper has yet not decided that he's tired of me leaning on him. So he's currently still here. I did manage to put my hands underneath him and scooch him a couple inches, but yeah. Well, Tellurian, I got the map back to the tavern last time I was in, and surprisingly, they didn't do a wipe over the weekend. So I'm good. Crazy enough. Okay, so over here, I believe, yes. All right, I'm going to stand on the table for a minute because I'm a short hobbit and I want to be able to see. So we have these pictures. Here, we'll just get in closer. So if you hover over it, this one says Lyndelby Homesteads, broker board. This one says Erebor Adobes, broker board. So these are the same as the brokers in that broker's office, which is wild. I know, I'm such a meanie, huh, Casper? I keep squishing you. Ho, 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 ho. There we go. Clarion says they normally only wipe between updates. So at the beginning of update 47, update 45, 48. Yeah, but I've seen it where it's like they do a Bullroarer that runs for, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they wipe it, and then the next week when they're running it, it's all gone. I'm pretty sure. That's what we've seen before. Well, anyway, this is great. I'm very happy about this. Oh, what's this? Hang on. I want to see what's this behind me. Well, that's very pretty. Can't do anything with it. Okay. But anyway, so I can interact with these broker boards here, and it allows me to get a house. So I want to, I think I'm good on that. So I'm just going to purchase a house, and I guess I should get up the ones that we currently have. So what we have currently in the Rivendell housing area is we've got... you know what? Most of these are sold out. So we're going to just have to get lucky, I think. Or find people who have theirs open. That would also, I would also accept this. Okay, so this one, that has a Kinhouse available. Sure. Yeah, okay, so we have 2 Highburg Road already, so that doesn't help us. We don't have 1 Torrent-path, so let's go ahead and buy that one. Okay, cool. And then, let's see if we can get any others. Refresh. Here's one. 2 Welling Way and 3 Welling Way. We don't have either of those. So let's, because one of them is a Kinhouse. Will it let me? It did. Oh, good. Okay. But let's go ahead and get 3 Welling Way as well then. So then we'll have those. Okay, let's refresh again. What do we have? So we don't need a Kinhouse. We've got 1. Do we have 3 Welling Way? That's the one we just got. All right, and this one has 2 Highburg and 2 Welling. I have 2 Highburg. I have 2 Welling. 2 Welling, 3 Welling. We just have those. Yeah, 2 and 3. 1 and 2. We have those. And this one is the one we have to Highburg. Okay, so we have everything that's available for purchase sorted out. So now, let's see, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm giving permissions to everyone to be able to visit, storage, maintenance, decorate, use, apply. Giving people permission to basically do everything except for change permissions. Because I want to make sure that other people can come in and play around with these houses if they want to. So, all right, so that's that one. Let's go to Highburg. Everyone, I've already done it. Cool. I knew I did it with one of them last week, but then I forgot to do the other one of the two that we had. So I want to make sure we do this with all the houses that we have at the moment. Okay. That's another reason why I thought we'd come in today and play with houses, though, because I thought they would have wiped the server, and then we'd have a fresh chance at buying up a bunch of houses. But that's okay, especially if we can find somebody who's like given decorating permission, then that'll allow us to see where the hooks are. That's really what I want to do. I don't actually need to decorate. I just want to see where the hooks are. Because then we can kind of get a better idea of like what it's like to decorate that house. Like for example, I have a house in Lyndelby. Hang on, let me see if I can figure out which one it is. That is, it's like around the corner. So I think, let me see if I can remember which one it is. It's not Broadmead. I think it might be Edgemere. Let me go take a look. Yeah, I think it's this one. Here, I'll just go ahead and buy this so I can show you. So let me buy this, yeah. And then, this is Edgemere. Here it is. Let me set the permissions on that before I forget. Hi, Kato. How you doing, baby? The weather is gorgeous right now, and so the cats have been wandering around. So, okay, so here's what I wanted to show you is on the decorations. So when you first come into this particular house, it's, by the way, it's very close to those town centers. So that's one of the reasons I like this one. And then if you run through here, you've got a lot of yard stuff over on this side, and you've got a lot of yard stuff on that side. But what I noticed is I come around and my house, you know, the house, my house, whatever, is here. The two doors are here. This is one of the larger houses. And there's more housing hooks that go back here into this kind of secluded corner by the waterfall. So it's very beautiful, but it feels removed from the house for me. It just feels a little bit, yeah, so I don't find myself decorating that section very much because it just doesn't lend itself to creativity for me. But if you were somebody who wanted like a little cozy corner around the side, then that would be perfect. So let me show you, like, for example, I mean, again, we're here in Lyndelby. Oops, I went the wrong way. I want to go to the town center. I want to go to 1 Wellforth Way because that is my favorite location in this housing neighborhood. All right, which is right here. Oh, and this one's for sale too. Sure. Well, I don't need to do. I don't want to deprive somebody else of buying it, because then they have to hunt for a house that's available, and I don't want them to have to do that. So this one, the housing hooks, as you notice, the house is there and there. The two doors are there. So everything else. Here, let me get like on top of the door. So basically, everything else is where the decorating hooks are. So all of this area, and then all of this area. So it's all right here in front of you, where you're going to see all your housing hooks. And that, for some reason, just makes more sense to me for a decorating perspective. So, yeah, so that's why I want to go and look and do a tour of the Rivendell houses, because each one's going to have a little bit different setup. So, oh, Clarilla says, my husband has a small picnic spot back there by the waterfall. See, that's what I mean. Like, if you've got that right mindset, you can come up with something really cool to put back there. And that's where I've like fallen down. And so I haven't decorated back there yet on my house on the live servers over on, it would be, what was Laurelin? So that's now Mary Addock. So, and honestly, when we moved, no doubt, a home with an ample space for a kin and fellows alike. Excellent. So this is the Kinhouse in Rivendell. But what I was gonna say is when we switched servers, of course we had to sell all of our houses over on the previous servers, or lose them. You know, we had to purchase our houses anew, which I did. But what I ended up doing is I didn't buy necessarily the same houses that I had had previously. I mean, in the Kinship space, we had a neighborhood over in the Shire Homesteads, and we absolutely did the same thing there. Like, we all were pretty much taking the same houses we had previously. So that worked out really well, because then we were able to still be together, and, you know, Kinship, there was a lot of RP that correlated between, like, housing neighborhoods names and like kinship names or event names and so forth. So it was definitely really good to be able to get back into those same neighborhoods and buy up the same houses we'd had previously and kind of just, you know, almost pick ourselves up and relocate ourselves. But when it came to the premium housing, there were some folks who had, you know, their interest had changed and they wanted, you know, a different house, or they weren't interested, or now they were interested, and so forth. So things had changed a little bit, and so there was a bit of shuffling around. And one of the houses that I had was one that a lot of people really liked, and I thought, well, you know what? I love all the houses in Lyndelby pretty much. So, except for the ones that are far away. Those I don't love as much because they're so far away. Because I want to be in the middle where everybody is, you know? I want to be where the people are. But anyway, there was one right in the middle, and a lot of people wanted that one. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll give that up and let others have it. And then I'll pick another house because there's some other houses that I was very fine with having. And so I did that. But so, yeah, so from the premium house standpoint, there was a little bit of shuffling around. And so what happened is then, yeah, I still enjoy two Lyndelby houses, but they're in different neighborhoods with different people. And then I also have actually over on the other one on Peregrine, I still haven't gone and bought up my housing again because we're not spending as much time doing housing there, which is kind of funny with our kinship. Anyway, but we do have our kin house, so at least we've got that. But anyway, okay. I apologize for the outside noises. I have a checklist that I follow when I am streaming, and one of them is to close the back door because of noise and stuff. And then I did that, and then I opened it again because it was getting warm in here, and it was lovely outside. So I'm like, I'll just get some fresh air, and then I'll remember to close it before I stream. And then I forgot. So you all get to enjoy the dulcet sounds of the outdoors if they come through. So my apologies if they do. Oh, let me see how many people are online. Okay, just a handful. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. You know, I think I might go ahead and put in world. I created a kinship and bought a ribbon Kinhouse. Okay, so just letting people in world know in case they want to join me in this kinship and taking a look at this kin house. Okay, so what I want to do today, is go around to the whole neighborhood. So I want to go to all of the houses in the neighborhood, and of which there are, now I did watch the stream that Scenario did since my last stream, and so I have a better idea of things. So this is a kin house here. There are, I think, 4 of the deluxe bigger houses. So 1, And so there's 3 up here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 in the middle. Okay, so those are the 4 of those, and then 2 smaller houses here and here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses, is if that is correct. I might pop back to Bree just to confirm that number. But before we do that, we can finish taking a look here at the Kinhouse. So, okay, so we know, and Clairel says, to my understanding, Scenario has fixed a few things, but the fix won't appear on Bullroarer yet. No worries. Really, I'm just looking at location and stuff. Ah, yes, but thank you for the reminder. We are here to look at views and such, and I noticed on Scenario's stream, which he did like a week and a half ago, you spy rolling hills filled with the dense, fiery leaves of autumn. Nice. That there are times when it's like, you should have a great view of X, Y, or Z, and in their excitement, they have planted perhaps some trees that grew too fast. So there is a possible, there's a possibility that he's going to be removing some trees in order to provide better views. So, but what we have here, my understanding is views of the Trollshaws, right? So we are here. Yeah. So this would be to the Trollshaws. I am standing here above Rivendell, and I am gazing out onto the Trollshaws. So that's the view you would have. Ooh, that's pretty night though. Of the Trollshaws from the Kinhouse. Now, all the Kinhouses are going to be exactly the same location, so it's not like you got choices there or anything, but just so you know, like, what you're getting if you with the Kinhouse. So we've got the doormat here, we've got a doormat there, a doormat there. I'm thinking this is so you can do the trick-or-treating thing really easily, although technically you can put all sorts of things down. You can put the trick-or-treat mats now on, like, a regular hook as well, maybe even a yard hook. So yeah, okay, so that's what this is going to look like though from a Kinhouse perspective. Now I think I do want to go have a quick jaunt back to, so let me pull up my skills. Let's go back to Lalia's market. Let's go have a quick look at the barter, not the barter there, but the book on the table next to the broker, because I want to count how many houses there are. So this is the fastest way I know how to get over to them, which is pop into Lalia's using the travel skill that I purchased for 3 mithril. One of the best kept secrets in this game. One of the best things to get that is not necessarily known by a lot of people. So therefore I would call it somewhat of a secret. But it's an awesome secret and you should share it with everybody. Okay, so I'm going to pop down here to the broker's office. Well, Casper does not seem put out by this at all. He's by me scooching in next to him. So I picked up this quest from him last week in the test server here. And it was basically go and see a whole bunch of places in the neighborhood. And then for finishing it, I'm going to get a thing. I don't necessarily... I will go ahead and finish that so it's in my inventory, but I'm not going to open it just now because I don't want to give away all the spoilers, you know. Okay, so what do we have here? This ledger next to him here is the real estate ledger for Rivendell. Cool. So let's click on that. So what this is this gives you the list of every single neighborhood that exists for that type of housing on the server, on that particular server. And so these are all the neighborhoods. So you notice when we were looking at houses to purchase, there were a lot of neighborhoods that were not listed. That's because all of these have been fully purchased out. So if I wanted to look, and it's showing me, like, here that I have this kind of house and this kind of house in that neighborhood. And then it's showing me I've got this house in this neighborhood, and then it's showing me I've got these two kinds of houses in this neighborhood. So, which is kind of fun. So let me see. Mister, you should be showing me everything. No, no, he's showing me every neighborhood. Ooh, fooey. Fooey, fooey, fooey. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking he was showing me every house, but he's not going to show me every house. He's just going to show me every neighborhood. See, this is normally where I would go to the wiki, but I am going to guess that the wiki doesn't have this information yet. But let me go take a quick look. So, Rivendell Steadings. Oops, fingers in the wrong place. Lotro wiki. Okay, we have a page that's waiting. Yeah, okay. So a lot of the stuff is probably going to be is waiting to be published until it's actually live. So yeah, these pages don't exist yet. But Standard, Deluxe, and Kinship, I'm pretty sure that it's just those 7. Let me see if there's anything in the Rivendell preview on Deco. So, just in case you want to follow along at home, is there? Yeah, Deco. Yeah, Claire points out the Deco has some info, but not all the information either. Town Square. Just scanning it really quickly. Okay, here we go. Scenario says, Rivendell housing will consist of 2 base houses, 4 deluxe houses, and 1 kinship house. Okay, so it is the 4, 5, 6, 7 that we saw. So we are on track. Groovy. Okay, well, in that case, so let's go ahead. Yeah, let's just go there. So if you use the ledger to take you to a neighborhood, it drops you off at kind of a generic spot. It finds a generic spot in the neighborhood to set you down. So in this case, it has dropped me off by the exit that would take me down into Rivendell. Here, I'll show you. On Bullroarer, it's live, so I can get back in. So now I'm in Rivendell Valley, Rivendell. If I finish coming down here to this, that direction is that bridge that looks like a log, a tree that fell down, that takes you around by the guest houses. So I'm like right here, and the guest house is right here. The last homely house is over here. The stables are up here. So just so you kind of get your bearings here. So yeah, so if I go that way, that takes me across towards the guest houses. If I go this way, eventually I would go around the corner and around those trees and stuff, and then I'd come out to where the stable master is. So that's where the entrance is going to be located, is right here, this little road. And you can see it's got this beautiful little gate, right? That's nice. So when you go in, or when you come from using the ledger, it's going to drop you off here at this point in the neighborhood. So let's go and take a look at some of the houses. Okay, so we have this, beautiful ride up. Lovely. We've got a spot here to stand and look over the treacherous waters below. I assume I would be defeated if I went down there, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try it later. Here's our far-ranging stable master. So last week we were doing kind of a running around in the neighborhood, and we did end up down here because I wanted to see how far it was from whichever house it was we were looking at. So we have been down here before in the last stream, but we're going to do a little bit more, focused looking at these particular locations. So gorgeous, though. Got a lovely river running here, and then very quickly falling underneath this bridge. Oh, no, right before the bridge. Going into falls. See, right there. So right at the edge of the bridge, it turns into a waterfall. So that's very pretty. For all of you who are sad that you lost your waterfall house over in the Shire, here's a place where you can get some more waterfalls instead. All right. That is, by the way, a very pretty picture with the bridge there and then the reflection. Nice. Nice choice. Okay. So we're here in the town center in this space. So we know, we'll go a little bit further here. If we continue on, so we've got like some really high areas here. Like this is not like, I can't just go popping up there, I don't think. Like, is there a way to skirt your way up here? Maybe. Well, I can definitely get my way to here. No, that's about it. So I can't exactly just like ride up from the center of town to any house. Like, there's no shortcuts, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Clara says I couldn't climb up. So we've got a house over there, but we've got a big old river in the way. In fact, oh, it's a house where they put up a barn. Very nice. So yeah, so we've got a house over there, and then we've got a house up here. And I believe these are the two smaller ones, right? Because, oh no, that's a big house. Okay, hang on, let me turn my face around. So there should be a smaller, the two smaller houses. One should be, I should be looking at it over the bridge, but I have to go around to get to it. But I might be able to see it from the bridge. Let's see. That's not it. That's not it. All right, hang on. Okay, that's one of them. Okay. So then that's a big house. So then there should be another small house. Oh, that might be it right up there. Yes. Okay. So just from an entering the neighborhood perspective, small house, big house, small house. All right, but now we got to figure out how to get to them. And yes, apparently climbing is not an option. We have no climbing gear allowed to us in this game. Only falling. It's a one-way option. But again, another lovely bridge with a more peaceful river at this point before it gets over to the falls over there. Very cool. All right, we definitely have one road option so far. So we'll just keep following that for a moment. Now, what happens if you go off-road over here? Just some nice troll shot-esque landscape. Whoa, can almost, there we go. Okay, they don't want me going that way. We'll just keep going on the road. It's fine. Okay, now do I get to make a choice? Yes, now I get to make a choice. Okay, cool. I'm just noticing on the ground the shadow. I'm like, what's giving me the shadow? It's this tree. Right here. Anyway, okay, so here we are at a T intersection coming up from the bottom, which is over here. So we haven't even figured out how to get to this guy yet. It looks like he's pretty far away. But probably has really good views. So we'll find that out in a minute. So it looks like from here, I can either go to the right and catch that small house that you can see from the beginning. So we'll go over there first. And then we'll come back, because then we can see, you know, we have access then to the other 6 locations. So first we'll go off this way to the side. So this is one Torrent-path. Makes sense. It is a torrent of stuff out there. Nice. Okay, so first of all, let's see if, can we decorate here? We cannot. Okay, we don't have permission to decorate, so we can't see where the decoration hooks are, unless I bought one of my own. I did buy one. We'll go over there in a minute then. But let's take a look at the views. Okay, so again, we've got some lovely Rivendell. Well, this is Rivendell, sorry, not Trollshaws. Yeah, we've got Rivendell views this time. So, like from the Kinhouse, it was Trollshaws, but from this house, it's Rivendell. And we should be able to see, let's see, there's the river. Oh, that might be the last homely house right there, in between those trees. I think that is. I think that is the last homely house. So that's nice. You get a really nice view of the last homely house from this smaller house. So again, this is the smaller houses. I wonder if it'll let me go in. It's okay if it doesn't, because we'll go to my house in a second. Oh, nope. It says no. That's okay. If you don't have permissions on your house, if somebody tries to go in, that's generally what happens. It just kicks you out and sends you back to the beginning of the property. Yes, Clariel says, I need blue stables to match the blue houses. That is a fantastic thought. Maybe put that in the Discord, because I don't know if they've thought about that. Here, let me get back on my pony. So I just wanted to point out a couple of decorating items that they've used here. So I was watching the scenario stream, and he was showing how you can buy these housing bundles, and it has a bunch of building pieces basically that you can then slot together however you want. Now each of them takes up their own hook, so it doesn't solve that problem, but it does give you a lot more flexibility in creating things that you want to create. So this is a corner piece here, and this is a corner piece here. I think, yeah, so that's marble pavilion corner piece. That's marble pavilion corner piece. And he was saying, Scenario was saying that like a lot of these things come with two in a set. So you've got like that, and then there's also like some just straight pieces. If you wanted to put, like, if they wanted to make this bigger, they could scoot that one way, put the straight piece in the middle. So it's really interesting how they're giving this idea where we can play with our own stuff. And I think this arch wall may have also been a part of that. And then I want to point out these decorative pieces here in the middle. And that, I believe, is a theme that is repeated, I mean, not just within the piece itself, but also in the house. So that's kind of a cool idea. And then, yeah, as you can see, this person got one of the, there's an Imladris barn item that you can acquire, and they have that and have put that on their property. And you can, so I love the vines with the blue flowers coming off of it, but you can see that it is basically, you know, as big as their house. The barn is. So that's kind of fun. And I think it's just, yeah, this is just one piece. So that's kind of wild, right? I don't think you can enter it. I think it's just a external thing you can look at, but it's very pretty though. Okay, so let me see, and then they put a fountain here, very nice. All right, so this is one Torrent-path, so let's go to my version of that, which is completely undecorated. But I wanted to go ahead and pause for a minute to kind of look at the one that does have some decoration done to it, because that's, you know, it's fun to see how things are decorated. Okay, so now you can see where those housing hooks are. So the hitching posts, I'm pretty sure this one's 5, because I think what they've been doing, and it seems to be consistent, is that, you get 5 of the hitching post harnesses, but there's more than 5 hitching post spots. Like there's 5 right here, but then I also see like there's one there, there's one there. There's often some by the walls and stuff like that. So, but I think with the house, you get 5 of the harnesses. And so what you do to create a harness, and let me see if I have them. It should be in my inventory, my wallet. Maybe they're not called harnesses. I forget what they're called. But let's see. If I click on the hitching post and wait, oh, maybe it's, let me see. It's been a while since I've done this. This is why we put it on the wiki. The information's on the wiki. Let's see, if I want to, can I just drag it to there? Okay, now it's going to ask me if I want to create a housing decoration using steed halters. That's what it is. So if I say okay, What it does is it takes the item that I have in my collection. So like all these, you have to actually own it. You can't do one that you don't have. So if I tried, let me go to another hitching post. So let's get a better view. So if I try to drag to this hitching post, like this Blood Bay pony, see, it won't even let me do it because I don't own that. I don't have that. It only lets you do it with ones that you have a copy of, that you've earned, that character has. So like this Elk of Flowing Silver, notice I can drag it over. It's like, do you want to create that thing? I say yes. And now I've got the thing. So what it does is it takes the information about the mount that you have. And so like these are all the mounts that I have with this character. You drag it to the hitching post and it will say, do you want to use this thing that you have, this halter, so which I have 32 because we bought so many houses here. Do you want to take this thing out of your wallet and combine it with the information about the mount and create a whole new thing? So it's kind of like, you know, you have two parents and they create a child is the best way to think of it. So you've got the halter, you've got the mount in your inventory or in your collections, and together they create a child, which is this steed halter inventory item, decorating item. So I can take this off of here, and it is a physical thing now. But this is a, notice it's showing me in my inventory what it is, which kind of thing it is, but it is a decoration item. It is no longer a pet or anything like that. It is, there we go. So it is a decorating item that I can pick up and move around and all of that. So that's one thing you can play with. And I believe you get 5 of those harnesses from the smaller houses, and you get 8 from the larger houses. Pretty sure. Okay, so again, we're back at that first house that's right here, that's overlooking like Rivendell. I believe you can see the last only house. We should be able to see a lot of that entry. Yeah, see, you can see that river. You can see that waterfall that we saw on that bridge that we came over. We've got the whole center of town laid out there in front of us. So a really beautiful view here of just kind of everything that's the heart of the town, or of your neighborhood perhaps. All the crafting station, the far-ranging stable masters down there. So all of that is right in there. Okay. So, I mean, from a views perspective, this has got some nice views. Oh yeah, and you got a view of that waterfall. So this has got some really nice views. So, you know, if you're looking at getting one of the smaller houses, then this would be a really good choice. We'll go take a look at the other one in a minute though. So let's go inside. Trying to remember the decorations. Oh yeah, so we had a room to this side, a room across the back, a room here, and then this is the room across the back. So basically like 3 rooms in a sense on this level, and then we had a main basement room, and then I think 1 on each side, is that right? Yeah, 1 over here, and then 1 over here, yeah, and then the central staircase. So that's the basement, this is the main floor, and there is an upstairs, which is, I think, was it 1? Yeah, it's 1 big room upstairs. So 1 big room upstairs, 3 basically down here, kind of the 1, the 2, and then the one that combines them there, and then the couple downstairs. So that's what as a reminder, what the smaller house looks like on the inside. All right, from a decoration perspective, this seems pretty straightforward, right? We've got, sorry, bunch of hooks over on this side of the path. We have a bunch of hooks over on that side of the path. It looks roughly even. So you're not like extra heavy on one side versus the other. Maybe a few more on that side, but it looks like that might be a bigger space of the yard anyway. So I don't know. You got a lot of space over here. So I mean, I feel like you could do some pretty good decorating on this one. Just put a big barn in there. Why not? Clario says, I found it interesting there are a lot of windows on the ground floor, but none on the top floor. Well, maybe they're worried about people falling out. I don't know. Now, I mean, there are the Rohirrick, but there are windows that you can buy and put up. Oh, and there's also like some stained glass windows that you can get from, I think it's the Further Adventures with Bilbo over in Rivendell. And those are really nice. Yeah. What's up? That was Casper. All right, I'm taking my spot back. Wah. So yeah, I think it's Rivendell. Hang on, and you might not. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but let me tell you what. I'm gonna pop down to Rivendell real quick, and I'm pretty sure that it's with the Further Adventures guy, the Further Adventures barterer. Oh, a new stained glass for Figments soon, says Clario. Okay. Hell, Ariel. I know I'm kind of slurring your name there. You have the swan window. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. Cool. So I'm going to try and take a look at it real quick here, just in case there are people watching who don't know what we're talking about. It looks like a stained glass window that has a swan in the middle of it. It's very pretty. So you could use that and it would fit. It would be very thematic. So this person here, Kelebir, when you do the Further Adventures with Bilbo Baggins, you earn these tokens of further adventure, and there's some various Rivendell housing items that you can get. Rivendell Candlestick, Rivendell Bench, a bunch of stuff, and one of the items, although we won't be able to really see it in its full glory, is the stained glass swan. Yeah, you can't really see it in the thumbnail there, but it's yeah, it's nice. Oh, here, do you want to come back? I'm sorry, I did take up most of the spot, didn't I? You can fit here, though. I know you can. Yeah, come on. He's a sleepy guy. The cats have their birthdays this month. Kato turned 12 and he is turning 10. So, you know, they gotta sleep a lot. They gotta keep up their, I don't know, get their beauty sleep and all that. They're very cute. But anyway, so the stained glass window, I've used it to use it as kind of a divider. It's not that big, but it does do some nice stuff. Wonder if there's a Further Adventures token barterer in the Isengard. Anybody know? Hi, are you smelling my arm? Let's go take a look. Does it smell interesting, or is it you just in your face? I think my arm's just in your face, bud. I'm sorry. Oh, Kel for short. There we go. Sounds good. All right, we're gonna go see if I can find a Further Adventures token barterer in the Isengard. What else we got? Who are you? Racial traits. Notary? Oh, no, right. That's just, oops, I'm sorry. Bunky nose. Armor. Money? Just straight up money? That's great. Various class items. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, discovery. I can get you. What do you have? Virtues. Reputation. I mean, the other option is somebody who has, like, all the decorations is another one. Instant gear, classroom. don't feel like foods and consumables is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, I could buy a fiddle. Or a whole bunch of other musical items. Nice. That's funny. Yeah, not what I'm looking for. Equipment anvil. That's cute. Let's look downstairs. Oh wait, ambers? Oh, I could get carry-alls from this person. That's funny. If you ever want to play around with carry-alls, apparently this is the person to talk to. Oops. Okay. I didn't know that guy walked around. I thought he stayed still in the corner there. Fascinating. All right. Horse dev? No. No. Currency? What you got? None of the stuff I'm looking for. Oh. Oh. No. What's this? Barter currency. Delving. What was I looking for? Further adventures. Does further adventures live on this list? Yondershire. Huh. Rocks rewards better. Best. Cute. Ill omens. That's so funny. It feels like everything is there except for that. I mean, we could get some Yondershire. Bounders coins. Is that what you use in Yondershire? Boy, I forget. So if I want to go buy some stuff up there, I don't know. Because there's some fun decorative stuff there we could play around with. Okay. Take you to the latest region. That's not where I'm trying to go. What you got?
Greetings.
Anything? Raid. It's not a raid, though. Bounty hunter. No. No, it's just further adventures. What about you? Oh, no. That's Black Book of Mordor. What about you guys? What do you know? Monster play. More armor. No. That is the problem with the test thing, is they just keep adding more stuff, you know what I mean? It just kind of piles on itself. All right, what about you, decorations man? Oh, blue roofed Rivendell horse stall. Let's get a couple of those. See how those look, huh? Cliff roots. Yeah, we'll grab a couple benches. Those might be nice to just put out. Elegant retaining wall. Elven dock cap. Elven dock crane. some more trees to get in the way. I think I'm okay with that, more trees. Oh, there's that Imladra's barn. I think we'll skip that, though, because we saw it. We know what that looks like now, right? We're good. Ivy draped covered bridge. Let's grab one of those. Oh, you know what we should do is we should go back over to Lalia's market in a minute. And grab those bundles that Scenario was talking about. So I tell you what, let's grab these. We'll go put these up at a house, and then we'll go get the stuff from Scenario that he pointed out to us, and do a little bit of decorating per house, kind of a thing. Rivendell gazebo wall segment. Okay. Anything else we want to make sure we grab here? Silver fish fountain. I'm curious. All right, I'm intrigued. Spectral visitor. That's okay. We don't need a ballista. Swan couch. See, this is what I was thinking. The swan stained glass would go well, and you could use it for upstairs well, anywhere to make windows where they don't have any in these houses. You know, it just takes up some wall space, of course, which is, you know, so it is. Welcomes a visitor. Oh, it's not a. It's okay. We'll go ahead and grab one anyway. Okay. I think we're gonna call this good. All right, let's go back to our house. And I think we were on Torrent-path. So we'll pop over there and throw some stuff down. Maybe not in this yard. Maybe we'll go to the next one. Oh, we might not have that next one. I only have like 6 houses in this neighborhood. What do I have, actually? For Rivendell, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 out of the 7 in our inventory. So that's okay. We can do a little bit of decorating real quick. So this is a elegant retaining wall. Let's try that. Cannot be slotted here. Enormous yard. Oh, what about huge? Does it count for huge? Oh, that is huge. Okay, enormous yard. Oh, they weren't kidding when they said enormous. Wowzers. Okay, let's do that way, I guess. My goodness. All right, let's go over here and just put down a bench. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a little more to scale. We can use the bench to sit here and stare at our giant wall. What else we got? We've got a Elven dock cap. All right. Oh. Okay. And then a long elven dock. Can I make it be a little above the ground? There we go. Okay. So we can make things that look like, you know, a dock. How interesting. Rivendell gazebo wall segment. Let's throw down a wall segment. Raise the dock. Yeah. Do I need to raise it more, do you think? We could raise it more if we want. We're just gonna bring that right out of the water. Oh, just to show off the bottom. That is really beautiful, though. I mean, I feel like this has gone from dock to like a roof, right? I mean, like, what a cool way to do roof. Okay, that's as far as it goes. So keep it like that. And now I don't care that it's a dock. It's now a concert space. And you could put like this. Wonder what does this look like if you raise it? Oh my word. Oh, that's pretty. All right, we're just going to leave those up in the air because those are pretty. Although, I mean, I feel like maybe I should line them up or something. Because then it would look maybe a little better. So we'll do a little bit of that action. Nope. Nope. We'll bring you over here, though. There we go. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this totally seems like a concert space now, doesn't it? So then you could do, like, maybe put this guy Let me turn it around and put it back there. What do we think? Maybe... So I'm just thinking like maybe have it in... I mean, this isn't... I'm not sure why I'm taking too much time with this because it's not like I get to keep this. But... No, I think it would be better if you had like 2 of them and then just kind of do them scoop at the back, you know? So let me show what I'm doing. So do like maybe that. And then maybe scoot it back a little bit. Yeah, have it cover up some of that. And maybe, I guess, turn it then. And over a dot, and then back another dot or 2. Something like that. So then you could do like, you could have a second one of those and put it there. And then you've got kind of like this cozy space of performance. That would be fun. I'm already like planning ahead. Do I haven't, did I get, what was this wall segment? Oh, I think I only got one of those. What is this dock crane business? Let's look at that. Since we're playing with the docks here. Huh. All right. What happens if we learn? Oh, okay. No, it's not as crazy. We could put it, it is the sword of Damocles. It's the crate of Damocles hanging over your head. There we go. It's not finished yet, you know, so we gotta keep an eye on that. Hey, well, did I get rid of the, what happened to the other thing? Where did it go? Yeah, probably, maybe it glitched. Ah, yummer. Oh, it's back in my inventory. Maybe I took its spot. Well, that's okay. We also have a bridge, a fish fountain. Oh, let's go put the fish fountain on the other side. What do I have here? Yeah, how about you be a fountain? And then what else we got? What else did I grab? Couch. Oh yes, the swan couch. All right, so let's see what this all looks like. So, oops, get rid of that. So that's fun. I wonder if you can just chill out on the couch. I don't see any water coming out of that fountain. Do I have to turn it on, or is it just... Nah, it's just for looks. All right. Anyway. Hello, sad little acorn. Welcome to the stream. We're going to hang out here and stare at our elegant retaining wall, because that thing is massive. Goodness. Oh, that's crazy cakes. Huh. But, oh, hey, that might look nice behind the dock. You know, to create this, like, very elegant, kind of, very upscale looking thing. Wonder what happens when this comes up out of the ground. Do you have also more to you? Oh, wow. It has a bit. So, yeah, you could do quite a bit with that. Interesting. Okay. Oh, and I do love the vines and the grapes again. It's a favorite feature of mine. Okay, so we've done a little bit of looking around here. I think I'm good with looking around here. Let's go find the other house, the other small house. So we ended up looking at this one. I want to go all the way around and I want to look at the, you know, the match to this one. The twin, as it were. Which means we go up and around. And then I think we keep going because I think if I, well, hang on. Actually, let's look at the map. Oh, no, this is the way I want to go. Okay, so if we go that way, we end up at one of the bigger houses. But this way will take us to some other things. So let's pause and look at the views from here. Very nice. We can see that other bridge that we were looking at before. There's the house that we were just looking at. There's the town center. And then we're coming up on a house, which is the big, one of the bigger ones. But we're going to skip it for the moment. With a bridge with some water. So this is definitely heavy on bridges and rivers. I mean, Rivendell makes sense, you know, a dell full of rivers. Kind of fits. So that's one of the big houses. And we're going to skip over that for the moment because I still want to go to that twin. Now, if we were to go up and over that way, wow, look at that moon. There you can see it. Very beautiful. We would get to one of the other big houses. But again, I want to go see the mate of that other small house. Okay, so it looks like we got to go up, up, up. Well, that's right, of course, because we were trying to climb up there before and there was no way. So here we go. We go this way. And I'm pretty sure it's a single, yeah, there's no choices here. Okay, so this is the other small house. And this is to Highburg. Do I have to Highburg Road? Yeah, I do. Let's just go to my version of it, my copy of it, because then we can actually, because it doesn't look like this one's decorated, so that's fine. So then we can look at where the housing hooks are, because that's always a consideration for me, is where are the housing hooks and how do I feel about decorating, you know? Okay, so here we are. And yeah, looks like we got a handful of trees there that come with the house, possibly not, depending on what they decide to do in terms of, you know, removing things for views and whatnot. Hang on, let me grab another coffee dropper. Hey, Kato. Little cat highway behind me. Yes, and Casper has noticed her. Hi. I know you can't sleep right there because Casper's there right now. There's like me, so there's me, little spot, edge of couch. So they have taken to sleeping, well, Kato has taken to sleeping in this little bitty spot between me and the edge of the couch. But Casper has it right now, which was a bit of a surprise to Kato, I think. But you know what that means, babe? Is you have this whole other end of the couch all to yourself. This whole thing over here could all be yours. Or you could just stare at him until he moves and then you can take his spot. You know, whatever works for you. Oh, he's just resettling. That's even funnier. She is giving him this almost dirty look. Well, let's look at our views while we're here. All right, so this is the one we were going to like try and climb up, and there was, oh no, we were going to try and climb up to that one. There was no way we were getting up to this one for sure. All right, but we can definitely look down. So we've got center of town, because again, remember we're like right here, right? So we're looking at this house here, and we were at this house here. So we're like definitely getting those, the two small ones have really nice views of this kind of center area. And let's see, let's zoom, there we go. So that's how we would go out of town if we just wanted to ride down into Rivendell, which, last homely house, right there, smack in the center. Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. The mountains of the troll shells and whatnot. I mean, you know, and kind of really the Misty Mountains going in that way. Pretty. Very nice. Very nice. Fantastic view of that house as well. But yeah, you've got a nice view of the bridges and stuff like that. I mean, if you come out this far, which, I mean, depends on how much running off the edge of your house you tend to do. But that's fun. So there's one of the bigger houses. You can see its yard. There's, let's see, what am I staring at? Is that Kinhouse? No, Kinhouse would be up that way. So that is one of the big houses there. So that's interesting. You can see a number of the houses. There's one back there from this spot. So that's kind of fun. All right, let's take a look at these housing hooks again. So we've got, so this yard feels a little bit more compact than the last one. I don't know if that's true, but it definitely has that feeling, which means it would be kind of easier to like put things together in a way, and it would make it feel. So one of the things that happens is because you have, you know, a finite number of housing hooks, inside, outside, you know, both have that same problem. Just due to limitations of, you know, coding and whatnot, is my understanding. So one thing that happens is you use all the hooks to create a thing, and then you have like a thing that takes up this much space, but the space in which you could decorate is like this big. And so you have all this empty space, and it looks kind of like, I don't know, it looks almost empty at times. So this could be an opportunity to do some really interesting decorating and have it basically like all come together, and yet not leave a lot of big open places where it doesn't look like there's anything there, you know? I think I want to put something on this hitching post. Why not? What do we think? How about maybe another elk? Elk seem to be the thing of this place, of the elves. Oh, that's a nice one. I like the forest spirit one. Yes, let's do that. Okay. So here's a fun fact I discovered, is that I am a hobbit. Well, not me personally, but the character I'm playing is a hobbit. I mean, I am short, but regardless. When I am putting together a hitching post from this, yes, why not both? A little bit of both. Why not column A and a little column B? So when I'm putting, let's say I put a pony out on this hitching post. So let's find a pony. Okay, so I'm going to do a pony. Let's do the teal fireworks laden pony. Okay, we'll place that out there. Actually, let me move it out a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so, oh, pony doesn't want to play. Hang on, let's see if we can move it. Save. There we go. Sometimes I notice that with hitching posts, you gotta kind of do it twice. But anyway, so notice the pony is like the same size as the pony that I am riding on, because what it has done is it has created something from literally my character's perspective. So if I am creating a hitching post, it is taking something from my character's inventory, or in this case, collection. So it's taking an item from my character's collection of mounts, which are ponies. And so it will create a pony. Now, if I was doing this with, you know, an elf, a race of man, a Bjorning, any of the tall folk, it's going to create the horse version, and it will be taller. So that's something that can be kind of fun, is switch to another one of your characters and make the tall version. So make the short version with one character, make the tall version with one character, and you could have them both as separate items. They will create separate, you know, entities. But yeah, it's kind of funny that that's something that I didn't realize that was happening. But yes, it is very much the case. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so let's see. What else do I have in my inventory? Let's put out some more fun stuff. Oh, we have to do the elegant retaining wall on a gigando spot. So we'll do that. And let's do a gazebo that we forgot and took off the other spot. And what's this? A blue roofed Rivendell horse stall. There you go. There's your blue roof to match the blue roof of the house. I feel like that really should be further by the door, shouldn't it? I wonder how far I can scooch that. I mean, it let me put it pretty far in my own yard. So that's nice. Hey, look at that. It matches this guy. That's something I could do. Hang on. If I was like, I really feel like I need more of these, we could do, and then scooch it and bring it, well, whatever. Nope, other way. And scooch over the other way. Well, it's very similar. I mean, it's almost identical. It's just not matching up for some reason. Oh, but I think it's because the walls are curved. So there you go. You could have like a whole series of those if that's something you wanted to do. Or maybe have those, but then have something like in between them, like one of those walls or something. That might be kind of nice too. I don't know. Something to play around with. Like, well, maybe not the lantern. That's not a lot going on with that, but yeah, but you know what I mean? Like one of those building pieces. Maybe we'll come back after I go buy the building pieces. Okay, but anyway, so that's the look of this small yard. So this is Highburg Road. So the first one we did was Torrent-path, and this is Highburg Road. So now we've seen kind of the location of the two of the smaller houses. So now I'm going to go visit all the bigger houses. So let's go back around. Yes, Deadly Toilet Paper says, short. And welcome to the chat there. Okay, so I think, yeah, we're just going to go down to Highburg Road, which, I mean, technically we probably could have just fallen down from the other one, but, you know, we'll just approach it from its regular location. Now, this one is not mine. This is someone else's, but we'll see if we have decorating privileges so we can see all where the hooks are. Oh, wait. This is mine. Oh, this is mine. This is mine where I did some weird stuff. Yeah, this is definitely mine, but I don't know why it's not giving me the stuff. Because I put these here. Because we were talking about the Stable Master stands before, and so you've got, this is the Umbari version. And then this is the Elven version. Oh, it is acting weird here. Let me go through a portal. Just try to reset it. So this is one Highburg Road, and this is actually my house. There we go. So we have seen these hooks before, but we'll go ahead and do another review of this. So our yard here, this is one where I recall it has like all the small yards are right in a row here on the one side and the other side, which appeals to me though, because I like to put down the candles along the way, and so that really fits that space really well. So what's our views like? Okay, so we're looking across this big chasm. Oh yeah, I put a hedge on the yard. We've got a big chasm, and we can see, I think that was, yeah, that's Torrent-path. So that's the small house at Torrent-path. And then we can see down to some of the bridges. Let me scooch away from the foliage. There it is. I was like, I thought there was a bridge there. There is a bridge there. And then there's a bridge there, and then the water and the bridge over there. So I feel like I like the layout of this yard, and I like the layout of the hooks in this yard. And the yard itself, I'm feeling good about. One thing I'm noticing, though, is all the things that are really awesome views, it's like you have to go on the back side of the house and stand there to look at them. So, you know. But if you do that, you're rewarded. So, a little yes. Yeah, let's make another hitching post, because why not? We need to have some of these guys, like, you know, be here to welcome guests when they come. Yeah, we'll do an ice flower steed. Now notice this one said steed, but it's going to make the pony version. Even though it said steed. Okay, you can see that that's the small one. See? It's teeny like me. It's not the horse version, it's the pony version. So just, yeah. It's kind of, I don't know, it allows you to do some fun stuff, because then you could have like the big one and the small one. Which is funny. Okay, so now we have seen the two smaller houses and the one big house that all are like circling the town center here. So let's go off and check out some other places. So I think maybe we'll go check out this one. So we'll go out and take a right here and take this to the end and then take a left. It does very much have that feeling of riding around in Rivendell, doesn't it? You know, going over these high arched bridges, running on this kind of a, you know, kind of cobbled path, in between, you know, these high trees that have kind of an autumnal look to them. So yeah, that's kind of fun. Okay, so here's where we could, if we turn to the left, we're going to go see the other three houses. But first, let's go to the right and see this house. So yeah, so we're done making choices. This should just dump us straight onto the house. Okay, so, oh, awesome. They've left it so we can decorate, so we can see the housing hooks. Thank you. Okay, so this is 2 Torrent-path. So the first one down, the small one down there was 1 Torrent-path. So this is number 2 of that same road. So we've got no housing hooks listed in this whole space up here, but my guess is because the house is so far away from anything else, we'd be able to drag them definitely to the front, I would think. Now notice how these are a little more hodgepodgey. Like, it's like the small yard hooks are in a zigzag pattern, like doom, 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 doom. Seems like they do that all the way along. And I'm noticing the same thing kind of over here, like a little bit of a zigzag interspersed with some hue yards. So definitely a different layout for the housing hooks. And then what have we got over here? If we're going to look out over things, I'm thinking Rivendell. Yep, there it is. There's the last homely house. That's pretty nice. It's an even better view of the last homely house than I would say that 1 Torrent had. I think 2 Torrent-path here has an even better view. It may be the best view because I think it's the closest one then, right? Well, I would have said that would be closer, but this view is just really good. She says, putting everybody behind a tree. Wow, this is great, though. And then what happens if we go around this side? Oop, we run into a wall. Hello, large rocks. Okay, so this house has definitely got itself kind of like tucked up against the walls there. And then I think, yeah, Misty's are like right there. So from this house, you definitely get a really nice view of like the change of landscape. And gosh, look at that waterfall. Ain't that a thing of beauty? Love that. Very nice. Very nice. What do I have in my inventory? Maybe I'll drop something down this person's house. Oh, we've got a bridge. How about we put a bridge out for no reason? I feel like a bridge doesn't really fit the theme of this place, does it? We could put out another stable. Oh yeah, I'm kind of curious about how that stable works. How far can I drag it anyway? So, let's see. Oops, wrong way. I mean, yeah, it's still got, it's not saying no. Yeah, nice. How far? Can we take it even further? Can we put it next to the other one? I mean, looks like it. You know, it might be nice to do kind of a staggered look for this one, because the road looks like it's kind of slightly angled, so having them at a slightly different angle might be nice. Cool, 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 cool. So, okay, so we got some nice breadth there, which is very cool. Okay. This is kind of nice. Like, I like the hills that you can see behind you. This one definitely feels like it's tucked in, you know what I mean? Like it's all cozy. It's cozied in between like the rocks that it's up against there, with a beautiful view side there, and then you're tucked back in by, you know, your stuff here. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So I think 2 Torrent-path has some really nice, has a really nice vibe to it, has a good feeling about it, which is important when you're buying a house. Okay, so I think we want to go back this way, and that will take us to our other houses. So this will take us to Welling Way. I think this is also Welling Way, and then that is the Kinhouse up there. So we've got 2 big houses. So we've seen the two small houses, And now we've seen 2 of the bigger houses. And then so we have 2 big houses and 1 Kinhouse left to go take a look at. Casper is sleeping hard. And again, we're on a bridge. Oh, this is fun. I didn't realize it split out 2 different ways there, the river. Calm, bud. He's dreaming hard. Look at that, though. Isn't that beautiful? That's really nice. Okay, so let's zoom back out and let's see where we want to go first. We want to go to the one that's right here. Okay, so this is our main road here. So this is our driveway to go up to. Looks like somebody's done some fun decorating. Excellent. This is 3 Welling Way. And we cannot see the housing hooks, but we can see a lot of what's going on here. I mean, like, they've done a lot of decorating. So we'll just walk up here for a second, take a look around. Nice. So these are all different housing stuff that obviously you can get. So this all has that kind of ruined look to it. A destroyed Aragian tower, an Aragian gazebo. What's this one? Destroyed gazebo? Yeah. Ruined lookout. Ruined tower, which I don't think you can get up on top of. And then we have like some of the newer stuff. So this ivy draped bridge. Uh-oh. I'm not moving for a moment. An elven rope bridge. Oh, I see. I was curious how you would use that. So we've got an intricate canopy over here, it says. And then elven dock cap, which we were playing with before. We've got an elven dock there. I think that's that's a long elven dock there. And then they've put a rope bridge in between the docks, so that's fun. Not feeling good about this. My character can't move. Yeah, buddy. So I may be crashing here. We'll see here in a second. I mean, the Bullroarer may be like... My character may be crashing out of Bullroarer. Let's see. I'm just pulling up the Bullroarer general, see if anybody else is having an issue at the moment. Nobody else has said anything. Well, I'll sit here for a minute, and then if I have to, I might have to relog in. An ivy draped gazebo. That's very pretty. And then oh yeah, that's the bridge. And then we've got the open air gazebo over there. Also really pretty. You know, I wonder if I can get back over to Lalia's because I wanted to go and buy some of those packs. Let's see if it'll... No, looks like I am frozen in place. That's a shame. Ugh. I mean, stuff like that happens when you're, on a test server. Sometimes a glitch happens. That's why it's not the live server. Let's see if we can toggle anything. No, can't toggle anything either. This happens sometimes when I'm, like, playing, when we're playing on our groups. It's like, all of a sudden somebody stops moving, and they're like, you're like, yeah, I think you're going to crash. In fact, I'm surprised it hasn't crashed already. That's a shame. I was going to see if I can climb up there, but I guess I wouldn't be able to climb up there anyway. There's no stairs. and as we have seen before, hobbits can't jump that high. All right, let's see if I can pull this up again and start a new session. Nope. Okay. Let's try. Sorry, apparently I don't know how to log in. Give me a second. And I just gotta switch over. Let me minimize things. Kel says, about now is when I yell over to my husband task to see if he's downloading something. Yeah, that's fair. Oh. Let me see if I can end that task. See if I can come in with this one. We'll see what happens. Usually my tech support is nearby and I'm like, hey. He's like, no, click this first and then click that. I'm like, okay, cool. But he's working. I mean, nearby. I could just yell at him. Well, honey, we'll find out if this works, because I tried to close out that one, but it doesn't want to. I can't get out of this one. Yeah, what do I do to make this go away? Because I am in on this on a second try. So how do I make the first one stop streaming and go to my second one? Sorry, that one crashed. There we go. Never mind. It sorted itself out. I just needed your aura. Thanks, honey. It's the IT aura. Just fixes everything. This is so cute. I love this gazebo. I'm glad to help. Yep. Thanks for your help. Now, I was curious if I could get up on... Oh, this is the fishing net. Oh, cute. I was wondering if I could get up on that, but I don't think there's any way to get up there. But what a clever idea to put a little elven rope bridge between them. So yeah, I could see... I think the idea of putting the docks up in the air is the way to go. But okay, so we are going to go over to Lalia's market, though. Because I want to go buy those bundles that Scenario was playing around with on stream before. And yeah, we're going to see that. I couldn't figure out how to kill the first Lotro client. Yeah, Kel, I agree. Kel says it's fine at ground level, but then you miss all the amazing filigree. Exactly. I am with you on that. Okay, so I believe it was this decoration trader has bundles. How do I buy it? Oh, I need homesteading coins? Fine, give me some homesteading coins. Okay, so there's an Autumn in the Trollshaws red, Autumn in the Trollshaws orange. Okay, so and these are trees. So basically, like the red one, it says it contains 3 copies each of the following: bent red-leafed tree, short red-leafed tree, small red-leafed copse, tall red-leafed tree, and thick red-leafed tree. So you get 3 of each of those. So that's a bundle of the red ones. That's a bundle of the orange trees. That's a bundle of the barren trees. So if you want to have them for like wintry look. Then we've got Autumn in the Trollshaws all. So it gives you all of those, all 3 of those bundles. Then we've got cedars and conifers. So again, we're talking some trees, pine groves, junipers and evergreens, and then a set of all of that. Then we have Elvish Docks, so it contains 2 copies of each of the following: Intricate Canopy, Elven Dock, Long Elven Dock, Elven Rope Bridge that we just saw, Elven Dock Cap, Elven Fishing Net, Elven Dock, Crane, Coiled Ropes, and Fanciful Barrel. So that's what we saw at that other person's house. There's the construction kit of walls. So you get 2 copies each of 10 meters, 10 meter tall, 20 meter, and 20 meter tall variations of decorative wall Elrond's Library, Bookshelf, and decorative wall Pristine Eregion. And then 3 copies of the wall surfaces of Elrond's Library Sword and Pristine Eregion. So that, and then you've got floors, Blue Shingle and Pristine Elfdeus, which 3 of those each. And then we've got another construction kit of structures. So that's Arabian column, marble pavilion corner piece, marble pavilion wall, silent librarians, and Imladris arch wall. That's what I saw Scenario playing around with on stream. And then you've got the construction kit that has all three of those. We've got the Ruins of Aragian bundle, which I think we just saw at that other person's house. We've got the Ivy Laden Imladris bundle, so 2 copies of each of the following: a large ivy wall, a tall ivy wall, short ivy wall, dying large ivy wall, dying large tall ivy wall, dying short ivy wall, ivy draped gazebo, open air gazebo, and ivy draped covered bridge. Wow. Then we've got a bed bundle, a whole bunch of beds there, including a swan bed. We have a Elvish Furnishings decor bundle, Elven Furnishing lights. Wow. Patio bundle, planters bundle, couches, chairs, tables, Elven Furnishings all. And that would cost 87 coins. I think we'll do that actually. Then we have a ruined Elven Rotunda, sorry, an elegant retaining wall. Okay, so let me get some more coins from our friend here. And it's only giving me 20 at a time, so. Okay. So let's get that housing furnishings all. So what that's given me is a box. We're going to move this stuff out of the way because what's in the box is going to be a lot. And it even says a lot on these, please make sure you have ample inventory space prior to opening this bundle. So ready for this? It doesn't tell me how many things are coming out, but I wish it did. Oh, it gives me each of the bundles. Okay, each of these bundles is going to have a lot. Here's the beds. Maybe I'll scooch this down. Can try it like this. This is the tables. I feel like I want the tables to all be together. There we go. And then I'll throw this bed up there. Okay. So now the beds, so we have all the tables and we have all the beds. I feel like I need to make more space again for these things. Holy macaroni. Yes, B4 says it would have been nice for them to give a rough number. Please make sure you have N number of spaces in your inventory. Here's the chairs bundle. Goodness. Planters. This is a whole lot of other stuff. Stained glass portrait. Stained glass panel. There we go. Stained glass medallions. There we go. That's how we can do that's going to get us the windows upstairs like you wanted. Let's see. This is lights, candelabras, hanging globes. Oh, that's nice. I think I got to stop opening because I'm almost out of room. Okay. Oh, was there anything else we wanted to buy from this guy? I forgot to look at what else was on page 2. Oh, no, we did look at the other page 2 things. I'm curious about the ruined thing. Okay, so let's go back to the neighborhood. And we were on not one Torrent-path, but we were at 2. No, we moved on, hadn't we? We were at, was it 3 Welling Way? Let's take a look at that one. That might have been where we were. Because we were at somebody else's house, though. That was already well decorated. All right, so this one, yeah, we were looking at Torrent-path and the great views of Rivendell. And then, is this the house where we crashed? It was 3 Welling Way? I think it might have been. And I don't think we'd spent much time looking at, yeah, we hadn't spent much time looking at the views yet. So we've definitely got, we're seeing the icy space here. We're seeing the Misty Mountains behind us. We've got we're kind of tucked in. I mean, feng shui people would love this house because it's definitely, tucked in with a nice back behind it there. And it opens out to here. So not bad. And then if we go to the edge of the property, we got some pretty water down there. Got some bridge action. Okay, so I think I'll throw down a couple of things here real quick, just because we have so many of them. Let's do a dining table, and how about some chairs? There's a mahogany chair and a mahogany stool and high-backed chair and a different high-backed chair. All right, if we got one of every chair out here, got the high back, we've got that one, we got that one. All right, and now we're getting into like plants and stuff. So here's a birch and a shrub and a beech and a fir. These are potted versions of them, is the idea. So, you know, could look nice on your patio and whatnot. All right, so that's a start, and then here, let me turn that off. So we've got a bunch of chairs scattered around this table, but check out, that's one of the chairs, and then that's another one's this high back silver frame chair. I'm loving the filigree on that too, right? And the shadow, the sun creating the shadow on it, that's nice. That's very pretty. There's our mahogany stool, and there's our mahogany chair. So definitely some familiar looks there, but with a new twist with the mahogany, I think. I don't think that's what we had before. Okay, so yeah, so that house is, I don't know, it just has a nice layout, right? Like it's got, well, let's look at the hooks. These hooks are mostly in a row, a little bit of wiggle, but mostly in a row. Same here, kind of framing our pathway, which again, something I'm always a fan of. And then we've got a lot of little ones out here to play with. Got some big ones here. Definitely you would want something like with a large footprint back here. You know what I mean? Like it definitely has this feeling like we need, I mean, I don't think this is going to do it, but like the large silver hearth. I mean, it's kind of got the idea for our outdoor picnics that elves are well known for. Actually, I mean, they are known for being outdoors, you know, naturey guys, naturey folk. So yeah, you want something, I think, in that corner. Let me zip back over. That's going to have a nice, impressive, like, you know, there's something going on there. There's something that really draws the eye around it. And then you could put like picnic bag, you know, do a whole picnic outdoor. You could do an outdoor picnic with musical area. I mean, that could be a whole thing on that whole side of the house. That would be kind of nice. So, yeah. Yeah, I think this one lends itself really well to some good decorating. The layout of the land there. Okay, so that was Welling Way up here, which was that number 3? What number are we here? Number 3. So this is number 3, Welling Way. Hi. What was that? Number 2 over there? No, that was Torrent-path. That's right. So maybe this is 3, 2, 1. Maybe that's how this is for Welling Way. All right, so let's head out. I think I want to save the Kinhouse for last. So let's get back on our main road here, which isn't in 100% obvious, like which is a main road and which is taking you to, you know, another place, like which is a driveway, as it were, or the path into your home. So you just kind of have to know, I guess. Okay, so this should be number 1. Oh, somebody's been decorating. Made it very Yule. Oh, that's nice. They have a grazing great heart. Pretty. We've got a steed of the minstrel on their yard. But unfortunately, what we don't have are decorating privileges. And I want to see where things are. So do we have a 1? Oh, we might not have a one welling way. We don't. Okay, so we're going to have to find a one welling way that has decorating privileges. But in the meantime, we can kind of look around and see what we got. So we have water. We got a nice waterfall really close by. So that, depending on how far you can push your stuff out, like that could be a use of the rope bridge. You know, if you can get it close enough to here. You might not be able to. You might not be able to come outside of these walls, but you know, it's possible. We're definitely like tucked in there. Let's see, we are not, let's see, if we look that way, we're gonna see the Trollshaws, but I think we are not seeing through anything to see the Trollshaws unless we can look past the waterfall. Let's make a ride over and take a look. Maybe. How far do we get here? Looks like we have a wall here. So we can look out and know that this river falls into the Trollshaws, but we certainly cannot. So that's okay. But that's kind of fun. So that's a view of a valley leading into the Trollshaws. I'm going to guess it's not going to let me get any closer from this side either. Yeah, no, they've done a good job of keeping the riffraff like myself out from jumping over places like that. I wonder how far I can ride in here in the water before it gets like to the point where I have to dismount. Oops. I don't know. Oh, there it is. I'm on the other side of the river. So interestingly, we've got one of the large houses there and one of the large houses there. So if you and a friend were looking at places near each other, I mean, that's not terrible, right? You could get, so one Welling Way across from, what is it, 1 or 2 Highburg Road? I think it's 2. So that's not terrible. I mean, that has some familiar feeling, like when we're in Lyndelby. There's a couple of Hobbit houses that are across the street from each other, so that's not terrible. Speaking of, though, check that action out. Wow, 2 large lion statues making the front passage here. That's a nice touch. That's really cool. I love that. All right, let's go back up the hill, though, where we were. Oh, you know what? I think we may skip to another neighborhood, though, at some point and see if I can get a better look at where the housing hooks are for that one. So I think, yeah, okay, hang on. Let's do this. I'm in Askarish neighborhood. So let's get into a different neighborhood. So 2 Welling Way is mine. We want to come back for that. But let's try Nandobel. Why not? And see if we can get into that house. They were all purchased. So we can't go and buy one of our own to play with, but maybe we can find somebody who's left it open for us to play. Okay, so we want to go back up to basically straight across, like over there. So we have to go around the water to get there, but that's okay. Because we like water. It's nice and... No! No, 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 no. Okay, good. Alright. If I make enough noise, it'll listen to me. Oh, look at how pretty this is. Ah, they've done the vines. Nice. So this is another wall option you can get, which is, I forget what it's called, but it's vines, and it's really cool. It's very nice. Banner of Starry Nights, Banner of Starry Nights. Very nice looking stuff. Okay, let's see if we can finish getting up the hill here. It's getting to be springtime, which means that people are trying to mow their lawns around us. So it sounds like this one's got an electric mower going. Thank goodness. Okay, so here's... Oh, wait. that's not the one I was trying to get to. I forgot. I wanted to go to the other one. We already up here. We're up here. We wanted to go to the one that's down by the water. And you're like, what water? There's water everywhere in this Rivendell homestead. Yes, you are correct. The one that's down by the river, not the one where you fall to get to the river, maybe. This one that I was just looking at. Hello. Okay, so I don't think they have opened up. They did not open up their decoration. So sadly we can't quite tell where the housing hooks are here, but you can see how it does have some really nice decorating possibilities. This is that hanging globe that we just purchased, and then we've got high arch wall here, around Imladra's high arch wall. Nice. They've done the large Imladra's dais, round patio table with a patio chair. We've got a standing glowing globe. Nice. That's always a good one. The hammock. That's one of my favorites. High back patio chair with a patio table. So some really nice decorating that they've done there. And then they've picked some of the trees. This one's a potted elm, but they've stuck the pot down in the ground, I think. So it looks like it's not a potted tree, but an actual tree. Shaggy pine tree. We got a red roofed horse stall over there. Yeah, and these are the Starry Night banners. This is what I was wondering about, these hanging globes. That looks really cool, just like hanging in midair, though. It looks like they're attached to something. That's fun. You could have them coming out of, like, with this potted wisteria, you could have them hanging, too. Clusters of daffodils? Oh, very nice. And then you've got the water really close by. So this one actually, and maybe it's just because they've decorated this really nicely, I don't know. But I'm feeling good about this location too. And this is One Welling Way. Now you can't see the troll shot. You can't see anything specifically, although, I mean, you know that's the Misty Mountains, right? And you know the Trollshaws are over there. So, and you know Rivendell. It's kind of like you're at a crossroads of all three of them, even though you can't necessarily see any relics of those three locations. But here, let me go over here on the bridge and kind of show you what I'm talking about and a bit better. Oyen says, good day. Good day to you as well. So from that house, you are right at the intersection of the Misty Mountains, and then you've got Trollshaws, and then you've got the kind of like everfall, that evergreens that is always fall look of the of Rivendell. So that is an interesting house to me as well. I wish we could see where the hooks are, but on the other hand, I mean, we can see from what they've done that it seems like they are pretty movable around within the yard. When we've seen that at the other houses, right, that we've been playing with, we've seen that we've been pretty much able to put things where we want them to be, right? So we can keep trying. I think then that would lend itself to being able to do that sort of thing. Okay, so lastly, let's finally go over to the Kinhouse. All right, saving the biggest for last. So, and in fact, is this the Kinhouse that I bought? If not, we'll port ourselves over to the Kinhouse that I bought. So, might I ask a favor of you in the room with me? Could you close the back door? Thank you. Okay, so here we have the Kinhouse, but it's not the one that I have. So let's go ahead and go the one that I have, just because then we can decorate it and pull up all the hooks and everything. So I know there's activity in the room. Casper was like, what? What's going on? Thank you. There, maybe a little quieter. Okay, so here is the Kinhouse. And this will only matter, of course, if you are, running a kinship, or, you know, helping run a kinship or whatever, and you guys are buying a kin house, you know, curiosity about where are the hooks and what's that going to look like. I mean, you've got a fair amount of hooks. And it looks like the yard is relatively, even maybe a little heavier. Well, it's hard to say, because there's a lot of space over here and a lot of space over here. And I'm feeling like that's a nice, decent amount of hooks. So that's nice. You got a little mini forest going on over here on your property. So that looks like you might be able to drag some stuff into here and play with some interesting looks in the little forest space. That's fun. I would assume that you've got some pretty neato views. So let's jump up on a rock and take a look. Whoa, okay. There we go. What are we seeing? We are seeing some Rivendell trees, or are we seeing some... Okay, let's see. Oops. I did not mean to do that. But there we go. So we would be looking at Trollshaws over there. So definitely Trollshaws in that direction. And then Rivendell is in the other direction that we can't see through the rocks. Okay. Oh, but we might be able to see it if we were like over there. Oh, maybe we roll over there and see what we see. What is that structure? Is that just an outbuilding for part of this? Oh, no. Oh, I think that's the top of somebody else's house. Ah, wow. Crazy. So you're like right on top of One Welling Way almost. So then, yeah, so you wouldn't be able to see Rivendell because it's on the other side of all that. But hey, if you have a kin house and then your house is like One Welling Way, that'd be kind of funny. They're like, hey, there's my house right there. All right, well, let's see. I have a bunch of inside stuff. So let's throw down some inside decorations, and then we'll come back out and finish off with everything else that I have in my inventory. Because let's just decorate the place, right? Let's do everything. Oh, I didn't buy any ambient lighting, but that's okay. So let's see. Let's go to... which room do we want to start with? I guess this room. Let's just start throwing some stuff down, I guess. So we've got a bunch of beds, right? Oh, that's a table. There we go. Swan blanket, or sorry, swan bed, no blanket. Swan silver framed bed, no blanket. So we got 2 of each of these. So this is a pastel blanket. I feel like that's sticking into the wall a little bit. Let's get you out of the wall. All right, and then one of these. That's the blue blanket. So we have the pastel blanket, and then we have the blue blanket. Yeah, let's put that one maybe a little closer to the blue. You can see them side by side. And then let's get this one maybe. We can kind of line them up so we can look at them a little bit better, right? Oops. And not that way. Yeah, that way. We're not going to make this perfect, but I just want to kind of get them in a general near each other sort of situation. Okay, so those are some of the blankets we've got, or beds. We've got a swan bed, no blanket, swan bed, pastel blanket, swan bed, blue blanket, and then we've got a silver framed bed, no blanket. I think if I have the decorating on, sorry, it's got all the hooks in the way, but it lights them up so you can see them, so then you can see them a little bit better, I think. All right, and then do we have any other beds? Oh, we've got, yeah, we do. We've got a silver framed bed that we haven't put out with a pastel blanket. So that's different from that one. All right. Yep. 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 Okay, cool. And then, well, I need more hooks. Can I stick one of these on the wall hook? Oh, it looks like I can. Awesome. And then we have a silver framed bed with a blue blanket, but it's up in the air. So we're talking bunk beds now. Oh, that's okay. We can probably bring it down to the ground. Whee! Nope. I want to go this way. Oh, it's going on the diagonal. That's what's messing me up. All right, there we go. So that looks like all the different bed options you've got. So you've got like 3 that have the silver frame, and then 3 that have the swan frame. And then you can choose between no blanket, pastel blanket, or blue blanket. So that's fun. And you get 2 of each of those in that bundle that we've grabbed. All right, what's the next thing I've got? I've got, oh, more chairs. We've played with some chairs already a little bit, though, and some potted stuff. But we can, let's find another room where maybe we want to put down a bunch of chairs. Or we could just put them outside. Oh, this looks like a room that needs a lot of furnishings. All right, so let's put a table in the middle. What kind of tabling do we have here? Yeah, let's just look at... Oh, the tables were at the top. That's right. So we put out a marble dining table before. Patio table, we'll put that outside. There's a mahogany end table and a long mahogany table. Let's do one of those. Sure. All right, cool. And then let's put some chairs in this room. So, oh, we could do a mahogany end table on these here. Cool. Universal hook. Those are, what a great word that is. I love that word. Okay, so we could do some chairs. So those are the high-backed winged chairs. Here, I have another one of those. So those are all together over there. And then we've got some high-backed silver-framed chairs. We'll put all those over here. And then we've got the mahogany chair. Okay. That one's probably up in the air, so let's bring it back and put it near the ground. Not in the ground, near the ground. That'll work. All right, so there's our mahoganies. And then what we got here? Oh, mahogany stools. So if people want to sit on a stool, we've got that idea. I do appreciate that we can use wall hooks now for other things. I just think it's funny that it by default is like in the middle of the air. All right, maybe I should get it away from the wall a little bit. Okay, so those are all the stools put out. And then, now we're into flowering things. So there's, we're putting out all these potted shrubs that we had from the, that we saw that we put out in the other house. Okay, now we've got this banner of starry nights, which we saw some people doing some cool stuff with. But here, how about by the wall? That looks like a good place for it. Maybe. Oh, it's down in the ground. Hey, we'll bring that up a bit. There we go. Wow, that is tall. What's this? Candelabra. All right, we've got an elaborate candelabra. Okay. And so that's outside. Okay, so then, oh wait, we have more stuff. A potted wild carrot. Oh. All right, let's keep going. And another potted wild carrot. Iris. Goodness. We have a lot of stuff. Here's some more. Another iris. Okay. Empty planter. So if you're trying to figure out what you want to do, I wonder if there's some interesting decorating you could do with that. Like, I don't know, making it something that it's not, you know? And it does have an interesting bottom, so, I don't know, but that feels like, it feels like it could be a component of something, you know what I mean? All right, now we have a potted, small potted elm. I probably should put these outside. Should we put these outside? We'll just leave that one hovering in midair. Let's go put some of these outside. Once I remember where the door is. So, and then this should be open for decorating. So if anybody wants to come and like rearrange, they should be able to do that. Although they wouldn't be able to move it off of the hook I've put it on, but they would be able to slide it around. Oh, another banner of starry nights, which apparently begins in the ground. which is kind of funny. All right, but then we have a tied bundle of books. I feel like I might want to put that inside. Here, we'll just put a marble bookcase here instead. Oopsie, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to turn it around so you can see it better. Oh, we were going to put some more like benches and stuff out here, weren't we? Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, that's a table. Another table. Oh, we're starting to play with the beds again. Maybe we don't put the beds outside. I'll put a visitor outside instead. She's staring at the house, apparently. Oh, yeah, we got this big thing. Let's see about that. Oh, it has to be in an enormous yard. Well, all right, then. Let's do that. Whoa! Okay. Well, that would be why it has to be in an enormous yard spot. So that was the ruined Elven Rotunda. That's massive. Hey, but I was wondering about... Oh, that also has to be an enormous yard. There's one. So we have this ivy... Yes, it can. There we go. That's the ivy draped covered bridge. But remember, I was kind of curious, like, about putting things in the corner. Like the silver hearth, that's big. But how far can I put it into the trees? Yeah, see, I think there could be some fun had with putting some decoration stuff in the forest area there. What is a fishmobile? I guess probably the sort of thing you'd want to hang from the ceiling. Yeah. Maybe we'll make that go up a little higher. That is too funny. It's like, it's fish. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Look at that. It's like, yeah. It's fish. I guess this is what your elven child enjoys looking at, perhaps? Fresh fish. Yeah. Okay, so now we've opened up some more spots in the inventory, though. We've got all those beds still, but we may not end up putting them out. But we still haven't opened, and oh gosh, we have all these lamps to deal with. But we haven't opened the patio bundle, so I want to do that because that feels like an outdoor kind of thing, right? And then we also have the couches bundle. Okay, that wasn't quite as many. So the patio bundle was a lot. So we've got the fish fountain. Man, I should have put a fish mobile by it. We've got the curved bench. Another fish fountain. Hello. Another curved bench. What do we got here, though? This is a round patio table. Oh, and some of these are the ones that we were seeing in somebody else's yard. So I do like some of these. This is the patio stool. And then we've got... Okay, so we've got like 4 patio stools. That's nice because that would actually go nicely around that table. And then we've got some patio chairs. So if you would like a back to your chair, you got options there. Maybe I don't use the enormous yard straight away because since there's a couple of things that can only go in those. Wow, we got a bunch of patio chairs. Have we got anything else? High back patio chair. There you go. For even more support. And we got some nice little silver framed couch action. So let's turn those around. They can face each other. Put one more out. And then, oops. And we'll turn it. There we go. So the 3 couches are kind of having a little conversation. What's this one? This is the swan couch. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Looks a bit... These all look a little uncomfortable. I think we need some cushions. I'll have to bring some cushions from my Lyndelby house. Okay, so that is a lot of outdoor looking stuff. Now we've got also a yellow lantern staff, and then there's also purple lantern staff. So those look like this. So they have a little bit of a different top as well. So like, see how this one's kind of like a jewel or something, and then this one's more like it's got a topper going on it as well. So they're different style for sure. Let's see if I have any others. Let's see, that was yellow, that was purple. No, we have hanging lanterns now. So if we were like just gonna pretend that they're hanging, so we could do hanging yellow, and then there's hanging purple. So you can see how they have a different style, but these are bigger, which is fun. That's hanging purple still, yeah. And then we have glowing globe. And these are the ones that we saw that person put in their yard. That was really fun. Standing glowing globe. Hanging glowing globe. Oh, that's big and chunky. Oh, that's the one we saw in the middle of that rotunda. So that was nice. So I could see, yeah, definitely you could like take these and hang them from, you know, on the sides of the bridge or something. That might be kind of a pretty thing to do. And again, you can see how they have different looks. Like the purple one has this kind of a topper on it, and the yellow one has a different look. Take off the names so you can kind of see for a second there. So, okay, so then, oh yeah, I wanted to go inside and do some of that stained glass. So that's probably the last thing that we'll do is we'll go inside, we'll put up some of the stained glass on the walls so it looks like there's windows. And then I will probably wrap it up. So B4 is streaming today. He is streaming after me, and he will be streaming about Lotro plugins. Excuse me. I'm not sure what he's working on today. Is it Festival Buddy? Probably Deed Tracker, because there is no festival currently happening. Not for another 2 weeks. What is today? It's the 14th. Like a week and a half is when the next festival is, when the anniversary festival starts. Oh, that'll be good. Look forward to that. Oh, you know what we could do here is we could, well, it's got a couple windows up there. I was thinking I could like put some windows up there, but no, we don't have to. But we could do maybe, oh, this is that room full of beds. Maybe we'll pick a different room. Oh, I can't go around that way. All right, we'll go around this way, but we'll put some, well, here, we could just do some window, we'll put some stained glass here. So we'll do that one. Cool. And we could do the matching one, just because it's nice. And then we'll come in here. Or do we have two? Well, yeah. We could do the round ones, maybe. I feel like it's... Okay, no. I feel like it's in the wall, so hang on. We're going to scoot that out a little bit. Because you can see, you just see the circle of it there. Yeah, oops, not that. Nope, wrong way. Yeah, there it is. I'm like, I bet this thing has more color than that. And we'll do the same one here. Yeah, it's got the same issues. Actually, you know what we could do is we can just turn it so it's like the same as the other wall. And then we'll scooch it up to the wall, in theory. There we go. And bring it back. And then we'll raise it up so it's about the same height as the other one. There we go. All right, and then I think we had one more, right? Oh. Oh no, that's the outer area. What else have we got? Oh yeah, we've got this one, which again seems like it's sticking in the wall a little bit. So, oh wow, I hadn't seen this one before. And let's raise it just a little bit so it sits in there nicely. Oops, wrong way. All right, we're just gonna do a rough job here. And we'll do a second one and put it also on the same wall. As the other one, so it looks like they're, you know, matching. Oh, wow. If you look at the back side of it, you can see right through it. And then the front side, you can see this way. That's fun. So sometimes I'll do this sort of thing. I'll put it like in the middle of a doorway, and have it hanging down like that. So sometimes that's kind of a fun way to decorate. Yeah, there we go. All right, close enough. What else do we have? We have an elaborate candelabra. Toss that down. Another one over in this corner. We have, oh, another fishmobile. Sure. Can I hang it from the ceiling? Yes, I can. Can you see it? No, you cannot. There we go. Oh, right. We've got these bookcases and stuff. So let's drop some bookcases on some walls here. Ah, why you gotta be so high up in the wall? Ah, yeah. All right, let's pull that out of the wall. Nope. No. There we go. Nope. This. All right. If I was doing this for reals, we'd be like making it more tidy, but that's good enough. Okay, so apparently I don't want to do it that way. I'll do it this way. And it's backwards, but that's okay. There we go. All right, so now we've got some bookshelves up. What's this? A dresser. I'm guessing it's backwards. Yes. All right, cool. And what else we got? An ornate storage box. Looks about the same from every direction. Cool. I got a couple of those, so we'll pop down another one of those. And we've got another bookcase. It's so funny that by default they're turning to the backs, but it's more of the swan stuff. So that's nice. So if you're going for the swan look, you've got some nice options there. What have we not put down? Oh, bundle of books. We've got a bundle of books. That probably would go nice next to the bookshelf. Okay, so what we have left that we haven't put out, I think we've seen mostly, we put out other places. So another bundle of books. We've got one each more of those same beds that we saw before. We've got patio chairs, swan couches, standing globe, glowing globe, hanging purple lantern, hanging yellow lantern, purple lantern staff, yellow lantern staff, mahogany dresser, silver hearth, large silver hearth. That's the one we put in the trees, and then the hanging globes. So I think we've opened up and put somewhere all of the various things. Now, of course, sorry, I did not remember to get some lighting. So you're kind of stuck with what it looks like without lighting. But there's kind of some examples of what some of these things look like in situ. I would say that those ones we were talking about earlier, the stained glass that has the swan, I think those would be really good in this house, well, in these elven houses. So, oh, for a second I thought there was a gap there. I was like, I'll just jump down. So, more bookshelves. Loving the bookshelves. These are some... Oh, I like how it's got an open book at the bottom. And is it the Hobbit? It probably is. So, that's nice. Gotta love a good bookshelf. Okay, we got our dresser there. The mahogany looks a little dark, but again, we don't have lighting, so it might not look quite so dark once we get some stuff in, you know, once we had some lighting in here. So then there's our beds. Are they bounceable? Yeah, they're all right. I think elves like hard beds. And then, yeah, those we looked at. And then I guess we didn't really decorate downstairs. I guess I was just like, nah, downstairs, who needs it? Oh, no, right, we put these, we made kind of a meeting room in here where everything hasn't been put in place yet, but you can see where the housing hooks are, so, you know, that's all right. And all these various different trees. If you're looking for some fun tree stuff to have potted for in your house or in your yard, those are some nice options. I got some really good, must have been during the Midsummer Festival, I think. I got some really nice like potted trees, but they're the huge ones, and so they take up some really big land yard spaces, which is great. I was using those to kind of create like a to try and bring together some stuff. Oh, actually, hang on, let me check and see if I put lighting, because last week I did grab a bunch of stuff. No, and there wouldn't be anything in this one. Oh well, I thought if I had some extra lighting I might have thrown it in there, but actually I could throw some stuff in there, the extra stuff that's in my inventory here, in case anybody else comes on and wants to play. But yeah, so that's some of the various things that you can get in those bundles now, which is kind of fun. Oh, here, should we get a visiting elf maiden? So this is a housing, you know, it's like a guard, like a housing guard, like that you can get for other things. And so, yeah, you click on them and you get somebody who follows you around. So now I've got Arwen following me around. So Saskbear says, I only tuned in about 40 minutes ago. Curious if you tested out installing wall, floor, ceiling textures earlier in the stream. I'll check out the full video afterwards. I didn't this week, but last week I did come in and I was playing around with a bunch of stuff. What do you mean I have to purchase space? Oh, I filled up my other space, did I? Wait a minute. No. Hang on, sorry. Shared housing storage. Capacity not available. What are you talking? I have a house. Hang on, let me go to my other house. Okay, so sorry, Saskbear. Last week I also came and checked out the new housing. And I did go and buy some textures and I played around with that a little bit. Maybe not to the extent that you're thinking, but I did play around with it a little bit. Oops, not that. And then this week I wanted to basically just kind of like check out the neighborhood and how everything's, you know, kind of plays together in the neighborhood. So that's, yeah, so that's where you might want to, yeah, you could go back on this video and I was more looking at like, what can you see from the neighborhood? What do the different houses look like? You know, what makes you happy there? And then really I was looking more at the lighting and the walls and the textures and stuff like that was last week. So now I have a YouTube channel. Give me a second and I will find that link. I always have to look it up. It's like YouTube, you know, Life Beyond the Shire or Beyond Shire. Sometimes B4 is really fast with that. It's okay. Who am I? View my channel. But when I do it, okay, hang on. Nope, that's not it. Okay, thank you. B4's got it. He'll put the YouTube link there. Because I always cross-post my videos over there as well because it's easier to find that way. Now, why is it not letting me put stuff in my housing storage? There, okay. It was just being flaky. I'm going to put all my extra stuff in here. Oh, I guess I would want it to say, like, how about extra furnishings? There. And then, so when you're ever, if anybody's looking at my storage from another location, hopefully they can access this if they want to put it out. Because I don't, well, wait, is it bound? Oh, it is bound to my account. Ah, it's a shame. Only I can put this stuff out. Well, oh well. Maybe somebody else could also enjoy looking at it, at least in my storage. And since this is just all test server stuff, I don't, you know, I'm not too worried about if something happens to it or whatever. I guess I should put the extra furnishings together. All the beds. The beds are interesting that there's like basically 3 different kinds. And yeah, so that's interesting. Oh, not that. I want to reset my permissions though. Yeah, okay. People have access to the stuff. So, okay, so let's go back up to Rivendell and just look at stuff from up there while we finish off. So if there's any other thoughts or questions, go ahead and drop that into the chat real quick. And I think we're going to just kind of wind it up here. Oh, excuse me, here in a second. Yeah, even Casper's yawning. I look down and there's a yawning cat. Thanks, buddy. There we go. There's our conversation couch corner. I guess we could bring in the swan couch too. Hang on. Come here, swan couch. Come be a part of this conversation. There we go. I guess I could turn this one then. There you go. You have your choice of which couch you want to hang out on. All right. So, yeah. So we took a look today at the different houses and kind of like what's the environment around them here in the new upcoming Rivendell Steadings. So just as a reminder, there's like, here's the town center. And then you've got two of the smaller houses, which are this one here and this one here. And then there are four of the larger houses. So that's the one here in the center. And then the other three kind of ring it. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the last thing is the Kinhouse, which is where we are, which is in the corner up here. If you're looking at views of like to look down into Rivendell or into the Trollshaws, you're mainly looking at the ones from the right and down below. So like this one up here, and then these three here towards the center. But the other three then up here have, and this one too, have a nice kind of like nestled in feeling to them though. So I think there's some really good decorating opportunities in every single one of these locations. So I'm really glad about that. So, because I know I'm planning to get a house in Rivendell Steadings, but I don't have like one specific house that I have to have. And I think and that makes it nice because then if there's other people in the kinship who are like, oh, I really would love to have this house, then I can, I'll be fine playing around with whichever house I end up with in the end. I think that'll be just fine. So there we go. There's my little character hanging on the fence or on the bridge. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for coming along, and I'm glad we got a chance to play around with some Rivendell housing again. Oh, it looks like my property guard ended up way over there. Hi. She's a little nervous about coming into the land, I guess, or she's looking around at stuff. So, oh, the Sass Bear's got to bounce to a meeting. So, thanks for the tour. You're welcome. All right. Well, have a great rest of your afternoon. Everybody else as well. Stick around for B4, who's coming up with plugging along and doing some stuff with the with Lotro plugins. So yeah, so next Tuesday, don't know what we'll get up to, but then the following Tuesday we will definitely be in the middle of festival time, so that'll be great. So anniversary festival, make sure you log in during that time because that way you get your anniversary gifts, and that's really important. Yeah. So have a great day, everybody. Stick around for me 4, and I will see you next week. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.